Khadija is a very loving person. She's a go-getter, and she's someone who will always be there for you whenever you need her support. She's a friend that you will never argue with. I met Khadija in 1997. She had a fashion show at Club Bilicana's, and I was one of the performers. By that time, I was a rapper. So I was selected to be among the entertainers in one of her fashion shows, and that's how I met Khadija.
She gave fashion a voice for children who were needy. And that was, for me, that was very, very special. To look at Khadija taking care of kids, that's hard work, but she has a big heart. And what I can say is her contribution has not been acknowledged enough. We need to talk about her, we need to feature her, we need to get back to her and to see what inspired her, especially with the kids later on, and we need to support what she's doing right now. But then another thing that I loved about Khadija is she also cooks. So maybe she could bring those all together. With this celebration, with this anniversary, let's have a big Khadija fashion showcase. Bring in all our friends, all those that she inspired, especially the female models. I think she was right there for them and was a true guide for them. Let's give it for a good cause for the kids, Khadijas and others, and then let's also eat a lot of vitu vya Khadija.
The fashion industry in Tanzania, back in the 90s, it was kind of budding, and those who stepped into the fashion industry at that time were really daring. It was a difficult space to be in, and Khadija was one of those people who stepped into that zone. And so I look at her as someone who dared to try and has really made an impact, because she's never stopped since, and she's made something big out of it. She's made a name, she's made an impact on other young women who have now come up with their own brands, and I look at her as a trendsetter. She really inspired others to start.
I met Khadija Mwanamboka in the year 2000, if I remember correctly. So that's 20 plus years ago, 21 years ago now. And I was working for Scanad at the time, and one afternoon in the middle of the workday, I was just informed that Khadija Mwanamboka is at the reception and she wants to see you. Now, to put things into context, I had never met Khadija Mwanamboka, but I knew of her because she had built a very solid personal brand, a professional brand for herself. So it was a big name in the industry, in the fashion industry, in the entertainment industry. So for me, it was just like, okay, just out of the blue, Khadija Mwanamboka wants to see me. I said, fine, show her in. Actually, I did say show her in. I actually went to the reception to meet her because this was kind of a big deal. So I walked up to the reception, and there was this, she was a young girl at the time, she was in her 20s. And it was almost, for me, there was a bit of a disconnect that, you know, the person I was seeing and the brand I had envisaged were two very different things, but there she was. And so she sat down in my office. I welcomed her into my office, and she told me why she was there. And this is the part that really inspired me, was Khadija just displayed an amazing level of boldness and courage, because she walked into Scanad, walks into my office. We don't know each other. She doesn't know me from a can of paint. And she says she's doing an event. She needs creative material developed for the communication of the event, but she has no money. And you know, this is for an ad agency, that's just, it's a waste of time by any standards. But there was something in me that just sort of came alive because of her boldness and her courage, that she dared to do what she did. And immediately, without any hesitation, I just said, yes, we'll do it for you, for absolutely free. So I remember calling my colleague Farouk Qureshi, who was our creative director at the time, and I said, you know what, Farouk, this is Khadija Mwanamboka, the top fashion designer in Tanzania, and she's going places. She's a brand that's going to become a global brand, and she's asked us to do this for her pro bono, and we're going to do it. And Farouk was on board, and the rest is history. We did it for her, and from that initial meeting, where Khadija just, you know, like I said, displayed this amazing level of boldness and courage, we developed not just a professional relationship, but also a friendship that has lasted over 2 decades now. And that's basically the short version of how I met Khadija Mwanamboka. It's still an inspiration to me every time I remember it.
First of all, I want the biggest slice of the cake of the 25 years, because I'm sure it will be a 25 kilo cake or 250 kilo cake. So I want the biggest and the most juiciest and the creamiest part of the cake. But that's number one. But number two is the fact that you have been here 25 years. I think it's a milestone. And I think such kind of milestones need to be celebrated by the private sector in the Tanzania fashion industry. But I would love to tell her that you should not be celebrating 25 years. In fact, this is just a platform for you to achieve greater things. Because sometimes when we say that you're celebrating, you are trying to hinder and limit yourselves to like, I have reached the pinnacle. But I believe that she has not even started her career.
I met Khadija 23 years ago in Dar es Salaam. A lot of people don't know, there used to be a model agency, the first model agency in Tanzania, and I used to be a model, but also I was hired as an office manager and matron. And Khadija would come looking for models for her fashion shows. You know, she used to do all these amazing fashion shows in Dar es Salaam, the first ever fashion shows. And you know, she would come to our agency, you know, talk to me, asking me to help her get models. So, you know, from there we built a relationship together. You know, we stayed friends. Even after I moved to America, you know, we kept in touch. She'd come to New York, we hang out, have drinks, you know, have fun. She would come and do fashion shows in New York or in Philadelphia. You know, I'll go with her when I have time. Yeah, so I mean, it's been a long time. I've known her for a long time, and I'm so happy and proud of her, and I'm glad I can call her my friend.
Khadija has contributed immensely to the fashion industry scene that we see it as it is today. A lot of the youth, a lot of the prominent designers we see today, I know a lot of the inspiration has derived from Khadija. When she started, we did not have fashion shows and, you know, like all these emerging designers. You know, for what I can remember back in the day, a lot of the designers were your Fundi Cherehani or, you know, whatever on, you know, but Khadija made it a thing. She made it into this, you know, entertainment industry and this in this light that we see it today.
I appreciate Khadija's contribution in Tanzanian fashion industry because she has been there for so many years, and she's one of the pioneers in this fashion industry. And she also designed a dress for me when I went to attend the Nelson Mandela's 9th birthday in London. And I've been working with her in different events for so many years.
Khadija's contribution to the fashion industry in Tanzania, and possibly to countries outside Tanzania as well. One of the things I've admired most about Khadija over the years that I've known her is not just her drive and her creativity, but her commitment to what she does. So from the very first time that I met her, from the first day that she walked into my office unannounced, from that first initial meeting, one of the things that I saw in her, and it's a quality that I really admire and respect in her and in other people, but she was very driven and very committed to what she was doing. She was passionate about fashion. You know, I think the phrase goes, she had a passion for fashion. If ever there's been a person that embodies that, it's Khadija Mwanamboka. So her commitment and her drive and her passion have always been an inspiration for me, and as a result of that, she has been able to contribute to the industry by elevating its profile in the market, because when you're driven and when you've got a genuine passion for something, even when the challenges come, you don't deter from your path. It doesn't deter you from your path. And that's something I've seen, because I know that Khadija has gone through challenges over the years. It's not been easy sometimes. And you know, the fashion industry was also, at the time when she was starting especially, it was still a pretty new thing in Tanzania. It was still a novel thing. But she had the courage, the commitment, the drive, and the passion to see it through and to just run with it. So I've admired that about her, and I think as a result of that, she has made a huge impact to the fashion industry in Tanzania, and as I said, probably to countries in Africa outside Tanzania as well. She has put the fashion industry on the map, not just for Tanzania, but for Africa. And I believe the other thing that has also helped in terms of raising her profile as a personal and professional brand, but for the industry as a whole, is also that she has managed to merge her passion for fashion with philanthropy as well. She has done a lot of amazing things over the years for people. She has done a lot of giving back. That's a story that I could spend a whole day talking about. But you know, based on these two things, I think her impact has not just been felt in the fashion industry, but on the broader society as a whole.
She has dressed ambassadors. She has dressed celebrities. I remember Kofi Olomide, the Zairian singer, came to Dar es Salaam, I think, for the first time, and it was a time when Khadija was just starting up. She told my dad, I'm gonna dress him up, I'm gonna make a shirt for him. And we're like, yeah, whatever. And she did. And there's a picture for that. And she appeared in the newspaper, front page, very huge size sort of picture. I was so proud of her. This is something that is Khadija. I'm gonna do this, and she's gonna do it. It's incredible.
Khadija Mwanamboka has done so much for the industry here in Tanzania. When I say the industry, I mean the fashion industry, that's it, designing and modeling here in Tanzania. I remember when she started out, I believe she was 17 or 18 years old. Back in high school. I knew then because we, you know, as I mentioned earlier, we have mutual friends from high school. So she started out at a very young age, and she continued throughout the years, you know, with the same love, the same, you know, drive, you know, to make sure she promotes the fashion industry, not just in Tanzania, but across the world. I remember Khadija has dressed, I think she has dressed the first beauty queens, Basila Mwanukuzi, just to make, Basila Mwanukuzi, and also I believe Jacqueline Tabaliwe. I think she was also the first one to dress the models. Like we had the first modeling agency, and she was the first one to dress all the models. So she had these amazing fashion shows around, you know, across Dar es Salaam and of course in other regions in Tanzania. And she would just hire models and she would just dress them. And she was the first to pretty much promote. I'll tell you a true story. My father, rest in peace, who passed away in 2002, my father purchased a tie and dye shirt. You know, this was in 2000, and that shirt, you know, after he died, I kept that shirt. That shirt had amazing details, that these amazing, beautiful buttons on the shirt that I love so much. And I wear the shirt when I go out in New York to a bar with my high heels, and I just love the fact that it's, you know, it's made by a friend of mine that I've known for so long. So her contribution is massive. I don't even know where to begin. People just don't know. All these designers right now, they want to be designers, it's because of her. If it wasn't her, there would be no designer in Tanzania. So Khadija, thank you so much for all you've done for this country, for the fashion industry.
Yo, what up? Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. It's Solo Thang here. Solo Thang, aka Ulama, aka Mwanazuoni alokoma au sio. 2001 nakumbuka nilikuwa na hit na album yangu inaenda kwa jina la Homa ya Dunia. Homa ya Dunia, na ndani yake kulikuwa na nyimbo kali ilikuwa inavuma inaitwa Mambo ya Pwani. Na Mambo ya Pwani ilikuwa katika version mbili. Kulikuwa na version ya hip hop ambayo nilimshirikisha Juma Nature, na version ya Kama Mduara ambayo alishiriki jamaa anaitwa Aspen au Mzungu Kichaa. Nakumbuka 2001 nilikuwa najuana na Khadija kabla hapo, katika tushakutana kwenye event mbalimbali, umeona. Lakini 2001 tulifanya kazi rasmi katika tamasha linalokumbuka linaitwa Vitu vya Khadija, na ni tamasha ambalo lilifanyika pale Blue Palm miaka hiyo, na nilishiriki katika huo mwimbo wangu wa Mambo ya Pwani. Umeona, mambo ya pwani yananichanganya, vitu fulani wanavyofanya, mambo ya pwani yananichanganya. Sasa that night kulikuwa na mambo ya Khadija. Umeona, vitu vya Khadija kwa ilichanganywa na vitu kwa sababu mandhari na nini, na kwa kipindi kile kwenye fashion show pale watu wakapita na nyimbo ya Mambo ya Pwani, umeona, ya Mnyandoke ya Mduara. Kwa hiyo ilinoga sana na nakumbuka one of the very very successful event ilikuwa. Kwa hiyo Khadija namjua miaka mingi na nakumbuka kazi zake na nimefanya naye kazi nyingine baada hiyo yapo, lakini hiyo ndio ilikuwa rasmi ya kwanza kabisa kufanya naye pamoja. Khadija namjua kama dada, namjua kama rafiki, namjua kama fashion designer, mfanya biashara, you name it. Umeona, ni mtu ambaye yuko makini sana na kazi yake, ni mtu ambaye ana ubunifu, ana upendo, watu wote wanamzunguka.
Wow, 25 years? Oh my God, it doesn't even feel like it. All I want to say to Khadija, congratulations. We are so proud of you. You are completely inspiring. You have inspired all of us, your family, friends, the youth of Tanzania. To me, you are one of the national symbols of Tanzania. You have transformed the fashion industry to what we see it as today. I am super proud because I know for a fact that you had a huge mark in that. And also what people don't understand is that throughout all that, you have had the biggest heart. You've worked with charity organizations, you had your own orphanage. You are one of the most giving people I've ever come across. You are completely selfless. You took care of those children as though they were your own, and I couldn't be more proud and couldn't be more happy. So happy anniversary, and inshallah to 25 more.
Congratulations, Khadija. Always with you, Daima. Love you much.
Khadija, we're celebrating you today. We love you so much. Keep up the good spirit, and happy 25th anniversary to you. Mwah.
And that is what I expect Khadija. She's launching the second phase of her career. And for that, I give her all the claps, not only on behalf of Mustafa Hassan Ali, but on behalf of the Fashion Week. She is an award-winning designer, and but also on behalf of the Fashion Association of Tanzania. And for that, I say asante sana, and I thank her for her friendship, because I think in this industry of ours, which is quite volatile, I think it's one of the friendships which we have over the years nurtured, fought, and we just wish her the amazing beginning of her new career.
Khadija, I'm so glad to call you friend, and I'm so proud of you for what you've done for yourself and for this country, and congratulations for 25 years. This industry is tough as hell, and I'm so glad you stuck to it. You're doing it so well. And for everyone who in Tanzania who aspires to be a fashion designer, all I can do is do your homework, do your research. And if you have Khadija in the country, why don't you set up a meeting, sit down with her and talk to her and see what she can advise you. She's an amazing person. You should meet her. Khadija, I love you.
But I wish you all the best. I know you're going to do amazing things in fashion, beyond fashion, and through fashion. So keep on keeping on.
As she celebrates 25 years of her being in the fashion industry, I want to tell her congratulations, but I also want to encourage her to keep going. She had one dream and another dream and another dream, and she's not been afraid to have many dreams. And I look at how she's turned her fashion involvement into other entities, into other things. She's had many dreams around her fashion engagement, and she's allowed herself to dream many dreams, and out of those many dreams she has carried others on the way. She's an entrepreneur, not just a business entrepreneur, but a social entrepreneur as well. I've been looking online and looking at the initiative that she's doing with the young people, the children actually, and that's inspiring. That's out of this world, and I want to congratulate her, and I want to keep doing what you do and do it more.